Oh, she's mean and she's psycho, a little bit psycho. On KOA screaming, I'm out my mind. Oh, she's a snot and a psycho, and always right though. Or else she's screaming, I'm out my mind. She'll make you curse, think she's a blessing. She'll rip your head within a second. She'll be coming back for seconds with a lot of hate. She just can't help it, no. Just play along and sing a song. Just let it go. She'll be saying no, she just can't let it go. Oh, she's mean and a psycho, a little bit psycho. On KOA screaming, I'm out my mind. Oh, she's a snot and a psycho, and always right though. And she's screaming, I'm out my mind. Grab a cock shot, kinda crazy. She really hates lazy. Yeah, people say run, don't walk away. She's not sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. No KVK, I'm out my mind. My boyfriend said, don't drink her potion. She'll cut you off with no emotion. When she's mean, you know you hiding. You think that Snapchat's real? With her daughter? No! She put you on, let her lead you on. You'll be saying no, when you find out that she's been a catfish. Oh, she's a catfish and psycho, a little bit psycho. On KOA screaming, I'm out my mind. Oh, what a shock that she's psycho. Makes sense that she's psycho, but I'm still out of my mind. Grab a cock shot, kinda crazy. She really hates lazy. Yeah, people say run, don't walk away. She's a catfish and psycho, a little bit psycho. It makes me still go out my mind. Just like me, you're out your mind. She was a catfish all this time. You're telling me that she's insane. In 316, she was a real big pain. Oh, she's crazy and psycho, a little bit psycho. And now she's screaming, I'm my mind. Grab a cock shot, kinda crazy. She really hates lazy. Yeah, people say run, don't walk away. Yeah, she's a catfish and psycho, a little bit psycho. She's screaming, I'm out of my mind.
Okay, so that song was a lot of fun. I actually heard it one day and I was like, this is the perfect song for this person. So I learned it and wrote lyrics for it within like an hour. And the problem of making this video was that it was so hard because there was so much content to whittle down into a song. So I thought that I would kind of explain to you what's going on. So here is where Mel is basically saying that she's not going to participate in KVK because there's too much like crap talking and whatnot. But the thing is that the crap talking is in other line rooms from other kingdoms that like we have no control over. It is what it is, but this is basically where she took over our rotation in Lazy. And, you know, the one thing about keeping peace in a kingdom is you have, you know, certain rules that everybody follows, and then you make a rotation for a KVK. And we basically have that as our trust to keep the peace in the kingdom. So she basically took that from, you know, us in the game. So what kicked that off was that it was Tag that she had the problem with, and it ended up being that we asked her if Lazy could stay out of it. We wanted to stay out of the war. We stayed out of the war for the last 2 months, so it wasn't us. We didn't instigate anything, and we were told that we would not get pulled in. And unfortunately, our leader, Ice, and his son, um, their dad and grandfather passed away. And this was pretty much well known in the kingdom. And when they were basically, going through this, time in their life, um, Mel and Juba knew this, and they basically attacked them after we got their word on not hitting Lazy. So obviously, the whole kingdom was really, really upset. And it wasn't just our alliance, it was the whole kingdom. I mean, everybody was upset that that happened. And I think the biggest part of it was, I know it's a game, and I know a lot of people use excuses like being in the hospital, or, some drama or tragedy happens when they get zeroed. But this was like legit, they were just going through it, and you just have to kind of like separate real life from the game at that point. I was really trying hard to not get sucked into the whole drama with Mel. I tried really, really hard. But it was until she made this comment to Ice and to Pop about having somewhere to go, like when she knows that they need to be at a funeral. So it's just so tactless and just kind of like sociopathic that I just don't even know like if a real person can be like this. So I'm hoping not. Um, I'm hoping that it's just the character in the game, and that all is well. So I did want to say that the song was just for fun. I'm not saying that any of the hearsay or rumors are true, but it was just like a good idea when I heard the song. I just thought it was perfect to kind of, you know, put it with what's going on in KOA, because I haven't done a video in a while. And, I like to sing, but I also think that this topic is actually really, really interesting for KOA in general. And that is basically the whole thing about catfishing. Um, I, I, I don't know. I don't like play this game to find a date or a partner, and I think that's totally fine if you want to do that. But there's just like things that I think that people should know and to be cautioned about before they really go into that realm of online dating. I mean, first of all, there's so many apps out there for dating. Like, there's so many that you might want to try that out first before you start dealing with people from different countries and unrealistic meetups, right? Like, a lot of times people's minds are just focused on the game, and they pretend that they want to be in these relationships in order to get support, or, to have a big help them out. So I think it's good to actually like define what I mean when we're talking about catfishing. Um, yes, women from KOA, men from KOA, everybody, they use filters, they use Photoshop, they do whatever. Whatever. If they want to use a model and act like that is them, and they aren't hurting anybody, and they're not trying to lure anybody into thinking that that is them, I think fine, do it. I don't see that as a problem. But what I do see is the problem of catfishing is when you are intentionally deceiving somebody, right? So this definition here is basically someone who assumes false account on social networking sites for the sake of developing online relationships with strangers. And why would somebody do that? Well, in KOA, a lot of money is to be had, and a lot of people use that as an opportunity to take advantage of people with money, and people are crazy. I mean, you just have to be careful. And here's the 5 signs of a catfish. They refuse to talk on the phone or video, FaceTime. They're always on the move, so they always go from like one relationship to another. Their profile and their chat and their like, just there's so many inconsistencies in what they say. You catch them in lies all the time. They get serious way too quickly. Like, how do people say I love you and become a relationship when they've only talked to each other for, I don't know, 2 months? And the last one, obviously, is if they ask for cash a lot, or if they have some sort of tragedy, or if they need help, or they give you a sob story, or they're always a victim. They're really taking advantage of your good nature of wanting to help them. And it's easy to care about people that you play this game with 24/7. A lot of people, KOA is not just a hobby, it's their life. And so those are the people I think that they find these targets, and they get what they need from them by, really crappy means of doing it. So that is the story for you on catfishing. Okay, so let's get to the juicy part, because I know that this is what people are watching this video for, is to find out how we all found out about this catfish thing. And I just want to preface this by saying that I made sure to block out all the pictures. I don't want anybody to harass her or cyberbully anybody, or I just am not coming from that direction at all. But I do know that people love their KOA gossip. And so from what I've been told, this is like the top 10 of all of KOA drama / gossips that's happened in the past, I don't know, 3 years, because it's shocking. I mean, when we found out, or when we heard, our mouths literally dropped to the floor. We were just stunned. So that being said, I just want to say that this is hearsay, circumstantial evidence. This is not in any way trying to slander anybody or bring anybody down. This is really just KOA fun and gossip. And I mean, come on, everybody talks in KOA line rooms. We have a bunch of YouTubers that give the dish on the gossip that goes on in all these kingdoms. So obviously this is a big one for our kingdom in 316, and I haven't done a video in so long, and it's because I've been just so uninspired by KOA. For the last, I don't know, 8 months, I've been pretty much retired. I use KOA as a Candy Crush. I like collecting rewards. I like pushing buttons. I like getting the dragon chest skins. I like gambling. But that's about it. That's all KOA has been to me. It's just not been interesting. And I think that happens when you're in an old kingdom. And I'm so tired of fighting the same people. And our alliance name went from bad to lazy, because we are lazy. We are proud of being lazy. We like just chilling and relaxing and not worrying about stupid, petty things anymore. And with Kingdom Raid, I think with KE always kept the spark of war, because you are always hitting each other, so there's always going to be this resentment. So when they took away KE, it was like, oh great, there's an actual event that's not KVK, that's not geared towards bigs or huge money spenders, and it's an event that all castles can play, and you can have like little castles spotting big castles, and the bigs kill it, and the little guys can farm those RSS. It's a fun event to unite the kingdom a little bit more than KVK, let's say. So with the raid, I feel like a lot of animosity kind of died down. But at the same time, when you don't have a tension reliever and you don't have something where people can get their aggressions out and hit each other, then there are things that sort of bubble up and come out. But that being said, that's only for the people that care. That's only for the people that actually care deeply about the game and wanting to win. And that's just not lazy anymore. That's just not our alliance. We just want to chill. So I think what ended up happening was we started chilling and relaxing, and for some reason, Mel's castle boosted overnight. It was like a month that she just like went to huge boosts and nobody knows how. Obviously, when that happens, people are always going to assume that it's cheating or somebody's buying them packs. And it's probably very hard to believe a teenager has that money to spend, but at the same time, I don't care if it's honest spending, great. I was so glad that she boosted because she likes KVK. It's in her time zone. For Americans, it's a really bad time. 3 a.m. start time is not ideal, and it's the weekend, so it's great that somebody else that can play the event is boosted for it. So, anyways, going back to the catfishing story, it all came down to this Juba and Mel thing. So here in KC, we have Otto, who was her like first person that she was romantically linked to. And Juba and Mel were saying that they were together. And so this person was wanting to know if they could prove that. And they kept insisting that they were together, but they wouldn't provide any proof. And I get that it's not really people's business, but at the same time, when one of the exes is curious to know if it's true, they're going to ask. And so that's kind of what happened, was they were kind of finding the lies in the story being told. And so the rumor is that Mel is actually the mother and using her daughter's pictures. I don't know if that's true again, but it is pretty crazy to be able to fool people for so long. And maybe that's why you jump from online relationship to another and you do it like every 3 months, because there's a time and a point where somebody wants to video live FaceTime or they want to meet, and if they're not letting up on that, then there's going to be some sort of excuse as to why they can't be in this relationship anymore. So this excuse was that this person sent a Snapchat like like in the shower on Snapchat. And if you think about it, if a mom is using their daughter's Snapchat to kind of like fool people and thinking that that's them, that would be probably pretty offensive for the daughter. And the daughter's probably wondering, like, why do I have this picture? I think that what was said is that a lot of inconsistencies between the Snapchat and what's going on in game and line chat didn't match up. And that's where things kind of started getting investigated, I guess. So all I know is that as of now, there is no proof against the catfishing, and there's no like denial in it. And there's always like changing the subject when it comes up. So of course people are just going to believe whatever they want to believe, I guess. So that's pretty much the story of the catfishing. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about it, really. Like, to me, I'm still shocked. Like, that song that I sang, like, I felt that. Like, that has to be super psycho. So anyways, I also wanted to clear up one more thing here, because another, like, let's go on a serious topic. One topic that I think is like not appropriate to make fun of is people's races, and I know a lot of people do it in a lot of different countries or whatnot. But I kind of think that, again, just normal human decency is to not bring up like racism. And one of the things that Mel likes to do is bring up my race. And I tell everybody I'm adopted. So for the longest time, all I knew was I was adopted from Korea. That's all I knew. And I really bonded with the Korean community here because it's a way for me to get to know my culture. And so I recently took a 23andMe DNA test, and I found out that I had a percentage of Japanese. It's a really low percentage, but it fascinated me. So I let the Japanese alliances know because I was excited about it, because obviously my whole life I didn't know that I had a percentage of Japanese. So it was really interesting to me. And she always resorts back to how I use like my ethnicity as a way to get support. And so I just wanted to put proof that there's my DNA test that shows that I'm not lying, because she keeps saying that I'm lying about it. And it's just so crazy that somebody would go on a limb to put somebody down because they have a mixed race in them. And for somebody that's so proud of like their heritage, that they always say that they're Bosnian, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's great. I think that's amazing. Good for you. I'm sorry that I've been blabbering on and on and on. That's not my normal forte. I normally don't do talking videos because it's kind of weird. But people who live to catfish and to lie to people and to manipulate people to get support in any angle or direction, they're going to see that in other people because that's what they do. I'm actually curious to know if the KOA community knows of other games that are better because I don't know, I'm just so bored of this game. And maybe it's just because I'm just so bored of the kingdom and the same people and the same stupid issues and wars. I heard that migration's not happening anymore, but my God, like if we don't have migration in another 2 months, I just don't see how our kingdom is going to survive. Everybody is quitting. Everybody is just tired of it. It's just so boring. It's like the same thing. I guess like if there was more population, new people, new things to fight about, I think that would make the game a lot more exciting. But right now, it's just the same thing over and over. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. I hope to make some more videos, but I can't promise that. This one took a lot of time and effort, way too much time and effort for laziness. So I hope you guys all have great KVKs. I know that ours, we lost. And I might have a video on that for you. So since the last KVK we had was taken over by LGD and Mel and lost it for everybody and gave the kingdom up, we have kind of a good karma that happened to them. So yeah, I think that might be a good next video. So anyways, I just wanted to clear that up, and I am so glad that I got to make a KOA video and I got to sing a song. And my last words for this video is, for the love of God, Mel, just relax. You have the highest power. You are being respected for KVKs. Why not just relax and chill and let people be and have fun and just enjoy the game and take your fighting out on Raid and KVK and Nether Wars and whatever else there is, or your line groups, fight with those people. Like, leave our kingdom alone. And you know what? The kingdom will learn to respect you and support you, and you will ultimately get what you want if you just relax.